Greetings, I'm Professor Hobo, and welcome to another HOBOTECH News product review. BLUETTI has just released a new set of weather-resistant MOLLE-style backpack power stations called the Handsfree, designed for carrying power on foot over distance, which would be useful for hikers, campers, cyclists, photographers, drone pilots, anyone who has remote power needs. It looks quite innovative, but is it any good? Let's find out.
HOBOTECH.
The Handsfree comes in two sizes, the smaller 42-liter backpack with 268 watt-hour, 300-watt power station, and the larger 60-liter backpack with 512 watt-hour, 700-watt power station. We're going to do all of our lab testing here on the larger model while we perform the long idle consumption tests using the smaller model, as this one has 12 volts. I also have to expedite this video for release. Both models use the same 4,000 cycle LFP battery, of course, the larger being 512 watt-hours, while the smaller is 268 watt-hours. Now, the larger power station weighs in around 17 pounds, measures 12 by 15 by 4 inches, while the smaller one weighs 11 pounds, measures 11 by 11 by 4 inches wide. There were no specifications given for the backpacks themselves besides their liter capacity. Now, as you can see, both are thin, upright design with a carrying handle built into the top. It offers the basic BLUETTI screen you get on all the smaller models. Shows input, output, watts, time to charge, discharge, battery percent with icons. It does come with the appropriate size backpack. So this one comes with a big backpack, this one comes with a small backpack. Both also include AC and solar charging cables, so you don't have to buy these separately. This is uniquely an XT60, which is a new thing that BLUETTI is starting to use. So a solar to XT60 connector. This is not an XT60i. It's not necessary because these only take 8 amps from the solar. It does come with the AC power cord, which means yes, this does have a built-in charger. Both units come with a single pure sine inverter outlet on the back. You can see it back here. Both of them have that single outlet right at the top. Now, this larger unit comes with a 700-watt pure sine inverter, while the smaller one comes with a 300-watt. Both do support BLUETTI's proprietary power lifting feature that can run some larger resistive loads. Both units can be charged from AC power up to 80% in 45 minutes. So say you're hiking past a coffee shop or an outdoor pavilion, you can top them up pretty quickly. Both, of course, are solar chargeable with a built-in MPPT controller using that XT60 input. And that input is here on the front. The larger unit can support 350 watts of solar from 12 to 45 volts for charging at about 2 hours. The smaller unit supports 200 watts of solar from 12 to 28 volts for charging in about an hour and a half. The backpacks themselves are designed to hang BLUETTI solar panels off the back so you can charge on the move. Unfortunately, they didn't send me a solar panel, so I can't demonstrate that, but I will show you a picture right here of what that looks like. Both can also be charged from either 12 or 24 volt source at 8 amps for topping up in 3 to 6 hours. Interestingly enough, the larger unit does not have any 12 volt outputs whatsoever. However, the smaller unit does offer a 12 volt 7 amp output via a single 5521 barrel plug. So if you really need a 12 volt output and a portable package, your only choice is going to be the smaller 42-liter backpack model. The larger model, however, does offer a pair of 100-watt USB-C power delivery outputs alongside a pair of prehistoric 5-volt USB-A ports. The smaller model offers a single USB-C port and the same pair of 5-volt USB-A ports. Now, here's something I find very interesting about these backpack hands-free models. They also pack a 20 millisecond UPS feature. So yes, they both have a built-in uninterruptible power supply feature, and that goes along with the built-in AC fast charger. Now, I'm not really sure why you would need those features out in the middle of the woods or on a hiking trip, but heck, it's available if you do. Also note that both units do support BLUETTI's remote app access over Bluetooth, so you can check on your solar charge rate and battery capacity while you're hiking, which is really nice. Note there is no Wi-Fi built in, nor would that make any sense. Now, as for warranty, both models do include BLUETTI's standard 5-year manufacturer warranty. And of course, we took the hands-free here to my secret laboratory where I performed all kinds of crazy experiments on them, including, yes, of course, a double-fisted
Bang, bang.
battery capacity test. Now, we did perform the battery capacity test on the larger model. It scored 455 watt hours out of 512 for an impressive 89%. As for the AC battery capacity test on the larger model, it scored 440 watt hours out of 512 for a solid 86%. Now, we did the phantom load parasitic drain test on the smaller model since I was doing my testing on this at the same time. They pretty much are going to act about the same. They both got similar technology. Now, this does have a smaller inverter. So the DC consumption on the small model, it used only 107 watt hours over a 24-hour period, or it would take about 2.5 days until the 268 watt hour battery was dead. This is fantastic because this includes both the 12 volt and the USB being turned on for 24 hours. BLUETTI does state these power stations are designed to be extra efficient, especially with DC loads. Now, as for the AC consumption on that 300 watt inverter, it used a measly 35 watt hours over 6 hours, or about 140 watt hours over 24 hours. So that means if you left the inverter on, it would kill the 268 watt hour battery in about 2 days. Again, very efficient. I would accept similar results. It's going to use a little more AC power on the larger model, but they're going to be similar, especially on the DC circuitry. This is the hands-free 2. It's 512 watt hours, has the larger inverter. It's just going to be better for testing. Pure sine wave check under load, 120 volts, 60 hertz, good sine wave. All right, let's see how far we can push the 700 watt inverter. I'm currently running it at 730 watts. We'll take it up 100 at a time until it craps out. There we go, 840. 950, 1030. So it died at 1030. Next is the 5 minutes of staying cooling or heat soak test, where we push the 700 watt inverter at 700 watts to see if it'll make it at least 5 minutes without doing anything crazy like smoking, drinking, or forgetting to take out the trash. Let's start the clock and see if it can go at 730 watts for at least 5 minutes. Here we are, 5 minutes. No problems at 730 watts. That means this passes with a thumbs up. But just how loud is it running the AC inverter at max from a meter away? Looks like a very whisper quiet 44 decibels. Max charge rate test. This is where we determine how much solar can we push into the solar port. This also applies to 12, 24 volt, and 48 volt batteries. So I do have this variable voltage charger currently sending power in through the XT60 connector. Now, this product is hard limited to 8.2 amps. It's not going to allow more than 8.2 amps in the solar port. So it doesn't matter what kind of XT60 or XT60i that you use, 8.2 is the hard limit. It does say on the side that the voltage range is 12 to 45 volts, which is pretty good for such a small product. That means you can put 2 small solar panels in series and still be within range most of the time. So we're starting here at 12 volts, 8.2 amps. It is currently accepting 95 watts, and that's typical. So let's take it up to 24 volts. This would be a single larger solar panel or a 24 volt battery. Again, it's limiting to 8.2 amps, pretty much doubles the power to 195 watts. Take it up to 36 volts in case you want to charge it with a 36 volt battery. Again, 288 watts. Now 45 volts is the limit, so let's see. At 45 volts, it's taking 8 amps for 350 watts, and that is what this is hard limited at. Let's see if it will actually take more voltage though. Right at 48 it shuts off, so 48 volts is the upper limit on this. 45 seems to be the best. It takes you up to 350 watts. So this passes with flying colors. Both hands-free 1 and 2 does actually support BLUETTI's app through Bluetooth. It does offer 3 charging speeds from AC wall power. See right there, I'm running in turbo mode. And that gives us a charging rate of 600 watts from the wall. Let's go ahead and change it now to standard mode. And we're currently now charging at 350 watts. The fan noise is lower, so I'm going to measure that in a moment. The last setting is silent mode. And that takes us down to 150 watts. It lowers the sound of the fans even more. It's virtually silent at this mode. So at turbo 600 watts, it's still pretty whisper quiet at 44 decibels. Standard mode takes that down to 43 decibels. And the silent setting takes that down to 42 decibels. I now have it charging at 350 watts. It's maximum from solar, Let's see how loud it is. And that's right around 42, 43 decibels, so still very quiet. So what about simultaneous charging? Can you charge from solar and AC at the same time? So right now I'm charging in turbo mode from AC at 600 watts. Let's go ahead and flip on our fake solar array. And we're gonna go ahead and run the maximum amount of solar, which is 45 volts at 8.2 amps. And it looks like it's not charging any faster, but something interesting happened. We are pushing 8 amps in from solar, and now it's charging less from AC power. So it doesn't charge any faster, but this has what's called solar priority. So it's gonna accept the solar power first, and then take whatever else it can take from AC grid power. So typical solar priority like we have with most solar generators. Now for the most controversial test on YouTube, the UPS test. Now, this claims a 20 millisecond or less UPS switchover time. UPS stands for uninterruptible power supply. That means you can have it plugged into the wall, run your PC, computer, your Mac, or whatever on this inverter, and if the power goes out, your computer continues to run. So I have the plug from the wall going to the switch. As soon as I flip the switch, it cuts the power off to the backpack, which is sending power to this music video, which I'm going to go ahead and start it now so you guys see that it is actually playing a music video. It's using 65 watts right now. It's under load. Let's make sure that everything works okay. Place your bets. 3, 2, 1. All right. So the computer didn't have any issues whatsoever. Let's go ahead and turn the power back on. You can see here it will start charging again at 350 watts from the wall while it is running the laptop at the same time. Repeat the test, 3, 2, 1. No problem. All right, so this passes the UPS test with flying colors. USB check. So this does have a pair of 100 watt power delivery outputs, USB-C. I have them running into a pair of these 140 watt power banks. These can actually charge and discharge at 140 watts each. They support the new power delivery 3.1. This is the old 3.0. But it looks like it's outputting 200 watts just fine, like it should. There you have it, 185 watts. And that one's showing 91, and that one's showing 96. That is close enough because this one's almost charged all the way, so this is going to charge a little slower. This is a pass. And everyone keeps asking me about these little power banks. I'll put the link to these down in the description of this video. Musician's favorite amp interference test is where we determine, is the inverter dirty or clean? And that means, can you run a power amp off of this or a PA system or something like that and not get that weird buzzy clicky sound coming from the inverter? Usually these small systems are notoriously noisy. Let's find out. All I got to do is turn the inverter on and place your bets. 3, 2, 1. All right, it's whisper quiet, so it actually passed that test. Because the larger Handsfree 2 does not have a 12-volt output or a light, and no one's going to care about the AM radio test or the EMF test on something this small and portable that you just carry around on your back, I'm not going to bother wasting everyone's time with those additional tests. Okay, so let's take a quick look at these Molly backpacks. They are IPX4 rated water resistant, so you can see all the zipper enclosures are rubberized. So when I actually pull the zipper past, you can see that it actually has a lip that keeps the rain from getting in through the zipper. They do have a combination lock available on the top, so if you do want to lock it up, you can do so. It does have all the Molly stuff that allows you to hang carabiners off. You can put things underneath these straps, extend the length of the straps. It's got all kinds of pockets on the outside. So you got a lot of storage. You got pockets in here that you could use for cell phones or a lighter or a knife or whatever you need to do. Under here, you have a flap with a nice big pocket that allows you to put stuff there. You, of course, have this zipper pocket up top that allows you to put stuff in there. You got some nice heavy-duty straps here, again, with more stuff you can hang carabiners off of. Now you do, in this pocket, do have a rain fly. So you do have a rain fly for the backpack if you're in very severe weather to where you might be getting soaked. And this other pocket is just empty, so you can put whatever you want in there. And it's all, of course, nicely padded, so it's not going to hurt your back. There is no frame inside either one, so you can bend them. Just to let you know, there's no internal framework. Okay, we're going to open up the major outside pocket here. So this is where you would store things like clothes. Okay, so you have these individual zippered pouches, 4 of them in total, plus this strap. And this is where you would store clothes and anything like that. So it does expand quite a bit. You unzipper this and it does allow the backpack itself to get wider. So you can really fit a lot in here by unzipping this all the way around. And now this compartment is literally 3 times thicker than it was. So it allows you to really fit a lot inside of this compartment. But wait, there's more, because if you unzip the pocket below it, all the way around. So below the camera section, you do have this pocket system, which of course, these all can be taken out and adjusted. They're all Velcroed in place. You have a pocket here, which is pretty thick and expandable and padded on both sides for your tablet or your laptop. So this would fit probably a 14 to 15 inch laptop, it looks like. I'm just eyeballing it. Probably a 15-inch laptop would be as big as you'd want to put in here, but it is expandable with this elastic. Yeah, that is very padded in there, so I would have no issues putting my expensive laptop in there. But this is pretty awesome because you can fit camera gear, your tablet, all your clothes and everything. All these little zipper pockets are nice because it allows you to keep all your stuff separate. Like even if you had like medications or something, you can put them in these individual pockets. It'll all stay out of the weather. It is great. So what about the power station? Well, this part's going to be difficult to show you because it's kind of really in there. So the last section unzip is the one closest to your back, which of course this is where the power station's going to go. It does have a flap that comes up with Velcro on it, and there you can see how deep it goes down there. And what you do is you take your backpack model, you slide it in, it doesn't matter which way, goes in pretty easily, goes all the way down to the bottom. You can then put the strap back on the top, and that gives you this compartment above your power station to put extra stuff. So you do have extra storage on top of your power station. So how you use it while you're hiking is you unzip this little flap, and this little flap gives you full access to the power station. There's one on both sides, but this is also vented. So let me go ahead and shine the light behind it so you see what I'm talking about. You can see that this is actually vented. It has little down-facing holes so the rain won't get in. That is actually very cool. And that allows it to be turned on and used while you're walking. So that is a super cool idea. It's very unique. I've never seen anything else that does this. And like I said, you have the same pocket on the back. If you need to access the inverter or the AC charger, very cool. Yeah, with this system, I could totally see like a cyclist or somebody who's riding a bike or even an off-road vehicle or something. They need to take some power with them. Like emergency services might want to use something like this because it allows you to carry a significant amount of power with you. You can power lights, medical equipment, you know, anything as long as it's within the wattage range of the inverter. You got some DC power and it's water resistant. You can put this on your back and ride a bicycle, ride an ATV. I can actually see a pretty good market for this. It's very unique and it's well thought out, well put together. So what do I think about this hands-free backpack style system? First, I have to give a kudos to BLUETTI for thinking outside the box on this product. Now, they are catering to a specific group of folks that in the past basically have had no direct solution for bringing useful power to remote areas on foot. Most power stations are either too large, a strange size, awkward to fit in a backpack, or they're just too small and don't really offer the features required for hiking and camping. Now, not only does this charge with solar hanging from the back of the pack while you're hiking, but inside the backpack, it's water resistant enough to be in use while traveling in the rain. And that means charging stuff on the move, even in inclement weather, and that's a pretty unique scenario. I could see this being a really big seller for survivalists, photographers, drone operators, and the like. Now, the modular use backpack means you can literally use it for anything, including air travel. Although power stations over 99 watt hours are not allowed on commercial flights unless you get special permission. Now we need to talk about a few odd decisions by BLUETTI. First, I'm really surprised that BLUETTI offers buying the backpack without the power station, but you don't have the option to buy the power station without the backpack. Now I think that's going to force this product into a very niche market. They're offering a pair of small AC charging power stations with a built-in UPS mode, which is a virtually useless feature in a backpack-only based product. Now, I'm thinking they could have shed cost and weight by ditching those features. Personally, I would very much like to see these power stations selling on their own without the backpacks for use with computers, laptops, radios, because you can lay them on their side, and that's one of my favorite features because the fans are in the front and back. You can lay them on their side, put a computer, put a router, put anything you want on top of this, and power it from the ports front or back. So I do find it very strange that BLUETTI is not offering these without the backpacks, because without the backpacks, they could sell these much cheaper. Now, another strange design question that I do not understand is why would you offer 12 volts here on the smaller model, but not offer it on the larger model? Because if you think about it, those that need 12 volts are likely to use it to power a fridge or something large that's going to need more battery. So why not include a 12 volt output on both models? I mean, I understand the desire to offer 2 USB-C outputs, that's great. But I think most folks would give up one of these traditionally and pretty much useless now USB-A ports in favor of having a 12 volt output, even if it is the barrel plug connector, because you can easily buy a little cigarette lighter adapter that plugs into this to power pretty much anything you want. I mean, am I wrong here? Tell me in the comments. Now, besides those 2 gripes, I think the Handsfree is overall a great product, and I'm certainly going to use both of mine camping. So the small one, I'm going to use this to power a 12 volt Wi-Fi modem, and the larger one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this to power my outdoor projector, because again, I can lay it down and put the projector on top, and this has plenty of battery power to get us through the whole night. As for the backpacks, I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but I'll probably use them for my drones. What about product price? Now, both models are launching at very reasonable prices that do include the backpack and the cables that I mentioned. The smaller 42-liter model with 268 watt-hour power station is only going for $299, while the larger 60-liter 512 watt-hour power station is going for only $399. Both are available in bundle deals with a 120-watt folding solar panel designed to hang off the back of the backpack if you're so inclined. Now, at the time of filming, I had not yet received a discount code from BLUETTI, but if I do get one between now and then, I will list it in the description of this video. I'm sure it'll knock a percentage off of these prices. And now, as for recommended solar, since this is a portable product, I'm going to recommend you stick with the 120-watt BLUETTI panels. Get the ones in the bundle if you plan on using it inside the backpack, because those are designed to fold up and fit inside the back. So fold it up, they will fit inside the backpack when not in use. Larger panels just aren't going to fold up to the right size to fit in here. However, since the 2 models do support 200 and 350 watts of solar respectively, you can also opt for the 200 watt and 350 watt BLUETTI folding solar panels. You can also supply your own as long as you don't exceed that MPPT voltage limit that I talked about earlier. Again, it does come with the solar cable, so you don't have to buy that separately. Now, if what I said sounds like Martian to you and you're clueless about volts, amps, and watts, I do have a new playlist series called HOBO University, where I teach you everything you need to know about these concepts of watts and volts and amps. And that's going to help you when it comes to figuring out solar power, batteries, power stations. So check out those videos if you haven't already. And if you're interested in either one of these products, the link and discount code is going to be in the description of this video. I'm also going to put a link here on screen along with a QR code that you can scan with a mobile if you're watching me on TV. And that's going to take you on over to the BLUETTI store page where you can check out the cool hands-free backpack power stations. Thanks for watching. If you learned something today, don't forget to give me that thumbs up below. And if you're not a subscriber already, you know what to do. That's it for now. Till next time.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.